Hello, hello, how are you? This is Jilly Bling, and I am on a roll with Cottage Rose. It's a bundle, a lovely bundle. I loved it the minute I saw it, and I have plans to make 5 different designs using Cottage Rose. This one I went a little bit crazy. This is called a tunnel card, I guess because you're looking through the tunnel at the greeting, or whatever you put in there. And mixing that with some butterflies, so Cottage Rose and also Butterfly Brilliance for the butterflies. And then the dies, I used a lot of dies. I'm using Cottage Flowers, which is part of the bundle, layering circles, beautiful shapes, and that's more just for a smaller circle. Painted labels, which is for this piece here. I'll show you that in a minute. Brilliant wings to cut out the butterfly, and designer tag, mostly just for the little leaf sprigs. Okay, so I had this project ready to roll this morning, but Mama and we went out and we did eyelashes today, and we did haircuts today, so it's like it's been sitting here ready for like a day and a half, so I hope I remember everything. Okay, so we're just going to jump in, because I know everything is right here. Just don't know how prepared I am. Okay, so let's start with the base paper. It's always a good place to start. Fold it in half. So there are a few little tricks that I wish I would have done on my little sample card there, and I hope to remember them here. Champagne rhinestones. Gotta love them. We'll use those in a minute. Let's do this is vellum. Paper vellum. Let's do 2 butterflies. So here is Butterfly Brilliance. Big old stamp. Big bunch of wonderfulness. So this one, I did this, and on the inside I did, I think it was this one right here. But I want to do the big one. I don't know if he's going to be too big for the front, but let's give it a try. So maybe this one and this one here. Because you know, when I look at these, I think maybe they're moths. So maybe they shouldn't be considered a butterfly. Because see, that's kind of furry. And they have the little dots. I don't know. I know that's definitely a monarch. But these here, I'm thinking they're, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. They're pretty. Okay, so on here, Versamark on the big one. And I could take this, flip it upside down on the paper, but chances of me hitting the paper, especially vellum, slim. So I'm just going to put it on here like this and make sure I see the Versamark. Ooh, I got it right up to the edge. The Versamark goes in all the right places. Okay, put that into white embossing powder. Isn't it funny how the white embossing powder looks beige, vanilla? Okay, hold on. I want to set that on something. I'm going to do the next one, the one for the inside. And what I say, this one? Let's do that one. Okay, so we did eyelashes. This is the second time. The first time was expensive. This time was called a refresh or a fill. And this time, when Mama got up out of the chair, I'm like, look at you, girl. It looked, I even said to Claire Magnon, I said, did you put more on this time? And Mama looked in the mirror. She goes, oh, she had to put more on. She says, no, it's the same amount. She goes, when people come back for their first refill, they always say that. Anyhow, we said that. Then when she put on mine, it's like, oh, this is why I do this. So I think we might stick with it. Hold on. Okay. I'm done with that. So in here is the biggest die ever. So this is going to go under here. A little washi tape, especially because the vellum curled up with the heat. Okay, so I'm going to cut these out. There they are. Pretty, pretty. And I kind of cut off the edge. Let's see if I could fudge that somehow. Okay, so there's those. So this is the new gold, like, I've got a pack here, hold on. And you could get 3 of them out of just a little piece. So what is that gold paper called? This paper is Distressed Gold 12 by 12 specialty paper. You get 2 sheets in a pack. It's very pretty. Doesn't take much, and it's just very pretty. Okay, so look at these. These are part of the Cottage Rose, Applegate Rose bundle. Just so pretty. So those are for the inside. Probably could have punched these out before. Okay, so collecting a whole bunch of pretty pieces. So this, oh, this is something a little different. So with Versamark and the leaf stamp, let's stamp. Ooh, there's some motorcycles going by. Those are noisy. Versamark onto crumb cake paper, and I'm going to put them into the white powder. So that's for these leaves right here. Okay, here they are. Gotta love a good die. Whenever I have to hand cut something, not liking it. So So here's more pieces. So let's do these. So to get just a hint of color on it, and if you were to look at this really close up, it's like, oh, yours are kind of like a white early espresso. That's because my aqua painter still had white in it. It doesn't anymore. So let's get those colored. Early espresso, ink, any stamp, and you just need just a corner of it into the ink pad. See how there's just a little bit. It doesn't take much. And pick up some color. Let's color these. And at first it goes on really dark, but the more water you put on, it kind of waters it down. And even if it was really dark, that just looks stunning. And it's funny, you might think, oh yeah, it's completely colored. But then, as it dries, it's like, well, I missed that spot. So just do the best you can. Hey, it's art. We're artists. Ooh. It's much better without the white craft ink in there. A little bit in the center. So tomorrow is class. Seems like it's been forever since we've had class. We're going to do the hippos and the birdhouse card, the diagonal fold. That'll be fun. So it's celebration time. Stampin' Up's best time of the year. And for every $50 you spend, you earn a level 1 free gift. And the items in the Stampin' Up, the celebration catalog, are stamp sets. There's paper, there's note cards. Level 2 is when you spend 100. And there's a couple of level 2 items. So this is the perfect time to get off your paper for the whole year. Or anything, or dimensionals, and a whole bunch of dimensionals. Or rhinestones. But you might as well. So this is adding just a hint of color. Because when I opened up the inside of this tunnel card, it's like, well, the front has a whole bunch of espresso going on. The inside has no espresso. It didn't. Now it does. Just a little bit. Like I said, you can make it really dark if you want. It'd be real dramatic that way. And if you don't get full coverage, that's okay. Because we're artists. But that one's drying really pretty. Okay. Done with that. Clunk. Water bottle. Okay, let these dry. Done with that. Okay, so for the inside. Oh, we could do the top too. So for the inside, I'm trying to think of a creative way to get around this, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, so let's just fold it in half. Yeah, there's no way to get around. I'm trying to, because see this one? We're going to use this paper for the center, and there's a crease, which you need. But I was trying to somehow stamp it in advance of creasing it, but ain't gonna happen. It just doesn't work like that. I guess you could put a different piece of paper in there. But that one is perfectly cut. I don't have that prepared, so I had to do some cutting with my machine here in just a minute. Okay, so this piece of paper, and I'll put the paper cut sizes on my blog, and my blog is jillybling.com. So it's in the shape of a W or an M. These pieces are going to get attached, and I have a trick for that, so hold on just a minute. Don't attach nothing yet. And this is going to be the peak, the mountain peak. Okay, so we have all this. Let's attach our designer paper. So I put these, oh, and the designer paper, this is from the Abigail Rose, what is that called? I took all the packaging off. And I should have it memorized. The paper is called Abigail Rose, of course, $12. And this is the chic, this paper. And I took the name off of that one. I'm driving myself crazy, but it's beautiful paper. I love the gold metallic. It's the stamp set that has all seasons in it. Texture chic, right down here, page 134. Okay, back on task. So these pieces, I'm just going to layer them on here. Right in the middle of the panel. I love this paper. It seems to be my go-to paper. I think it's my favorite paper this year. I like the Abigail Rose paper. That's beautiful. But this with the gold on it, I keep using it over and over. It's elegant, but simple. I like polka dots. Okay, so that is just like that. So now the next step is, in here I have, well, it looks like quite a few circle dies. But I'll show you what they're for. This is for the outside, this piece right here. The little one is for the espresso paper. These two dies here are for these circles here. So you're like, there's only one circle. But see how this is just a little bit smaller, just to create a frame around it? So the big die we're going to use now on the designer paper. Just like that. So hold on. Let me get it in place. And just do your best to get it centered. And you know what? The washi tape, I like using it, but I don't want it to be too sticky where it rips up the designer paper. So I'm making it less sticky. Let's hope I have some lint. Okay, so hold on. Let me run this through, and I'll run it through my machine just like this. It moved. Okay, so we are done with this die. Ah, that worked perfectly. So this could be put up. And you're like, well, what is that other die for? And that's because we're going to make this just a little bit smaller. So let's stamp the words on here. Turn it over. This will make sense in a minute. Early espresso. And I love the words in this set. You are positively the greatest. And I'm going to do my best to have, see how my crease is right here in the middle? I'm going to do my best to get it in the center. And I'm going to push hard. And I'm going to say, please stamp in the crease. Oh, did I push too hard? Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to decorate it. There's going to be a flower right there. Okay, don't push that hard. Push medium hard. Okay, done with that. And next is the die that's just a little bit smaller. See how it's just a little bit smaller? This one was used for right here. The one that's a little bit smaller is going to be used to cut this out. I don't know if it bugs you, but when I have something that's die cut, I could tell this is the top. If you flip it over, it's like you did a mistake. That's the bottom. But if we use a smaller die, guess what? We'll do it from the top. And with this, because I could see it's a little bit crooked, I'm going to kind of shift it. You can see how I'm shifting it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just like that. It's going to drive me crazy. And I'm going to hold it in place. Okay, hold on. Oh, while I'm at it, I might as well do these. Oh, there's one other one too while I'm at it. See this right here? My Distress Gold. I'm going to do 2 of this one on the Distress Gold. And that is for here and here. Okay. Hold on. Look at that. Okay, so this one is done. This little extra piece goes away. Okay. And if your cutting pad ever leaves you with some nice little marks, you can use your adhesive remover to get rid of them. Okay, and then if you think about it, the designer paper is right here. If you want, you could put glue to hold down these bits. Because I put it inside the card, I'm like, why does that look like it's not stuck down? Just a little bit. Okay, we're getting lots of good pieces. Okay, and we already did our butterflies. Oh, so here's the top. Let's do this. Then I think we're going to have all of our pieces. So you can leave the paper just as it is with a little white liner, or you could put just a hint of color in there, and I love how that looks. So here is Petal Pink, Light and Dark, and Color Lifter. So I'm going to take Petal Pink Dark and do all the flower centers. And because the colors are so light and a lot of it is going to be covered up by the butterfly And that circle, you don't have to be precise in coloring because you know we're artists and all. Okay, so just the flower centers. Then petal pink light. This will take just a little bit longer, but again, not that precise. And just putting where the shadows or the heavier spots of pigment might be on the flower. And this designer paper is just lovely because wherever there's lots of little hash marks, that's a darker spot. And it makes it easy to color it in. And if you want, you could use the color lifter to soften it and make it look perfect. But when it dries, you can, it's so soft, I don't know that you really need to do the color lifter. And a lot of this is going to be covered too. So, for you people that very regularly tell me, not everyone, I know, I don't like coloring. How is this for coloring? This is easy. This is more kind of just like scribbling. I mean, I could do this kind of color all day long. It probably shouldn't be on the white paper. Because if I went over the edge, that wouldn't be good. I could use my color lifter to make it go away. So this is number 1 of 5 cards, and this is a Gotta Have It box, GHI, and that stands for Gotta Have It. But if you purchase the bundle from me, I would love to send you these upcoming card kits so you can make this yourself as a thank you for your order. I hear that dog right there. He doesn't know that the door is open. Okay, we're done. Well, come on in. In. You could do it. Come on. In. Yeah. Okay, go in. Okay, so this is done. And we'll attach it to the white. Then it gets attached to the card base. Okay, so I think that we are at assembly. I think we've already made all the elements. Right there in the middle. And there's this one. Get it right side up. Doesn't that look good? Okay, we'll do this piece in a minute. That one we're going to save for just a bit. Card friend. So there is this fancy little circle. The fancy little circle is just because if we put this lovely butterfly on, it's cute, but he kind of gets lost. Oh, you know what? Just a minute. Let me cook at that just a little bit more. That was hot. Do you ever do that? Okay. Well, I'm going to cook it again because I kind of messed it up. Okay, I could sit there for a minute. Okay, so let's see, this is going to go in here, and then when I put this guy on, it's like, okay, but he's still kind of lost. So that's why I added this additional circle in espresso to make that butterfly stand out just a little bit more. Right in the middle. Then this kind of off to this side, right about there. Doesn't matter where, just somewhere there. Okay, good. And here is Butterfly Beautifulness. So on this one, I put the butterfly straight up and down. That one I keep wanting to put it off to the side, but because I have this little whoops, I might do it straight up and down again. Oh, if I put my whoops right over this white layer, oh, it's not centered. Oh, right there. Yeah, I planned that. Okay, so it's going to go here on dimensionals, but first I want to tuck these things under. So I want to make sure they're seen, because this butterfly is bigger than the sample card butterfly. Glue, 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 glue. So this one is going to go right about here. I don't like seeing that little stem. Can I fix it quick? Kind of scooch it over a little. Stick. Oh, that's better. Okay, and then this one is going to go right up here. Okay, so hold on before you start assembling the inside, because I have a few tips so you don't do the whoops as I did. And I wonder why my fingers have glue on them all the time. So if that's there, this is going to be right about here. Oh, and I like that it's poking over into the border, the crumb cake card base. Okay, so that's going to go there. And I'm going to put it on with dimensionals. Usually dimensionals, they're kind of a no-no with vellum, but because this has a white embossing on it, I think I might be able to get away with this. Because you can't see through the white embossing. So I'm going to put on a whole bunch. How about four minis? I have one left. And that's going to go right here. Okay, and then to decorate butterfly, rhinestones. So I'm going to get a big one for the top and medium one and a little one. Isn't that a fancy butterfly? Now that's a butterfly. And you know, I could find reasons to put on a whole bunch more, but there'll be a whole bunch more on the inside in just a minute. Okay, so now that top is done. Do you like the big butterfly or the little butterfly better? I think I might put some dimensionals, because this one is smaller, so it's staying down, but this one, he's like flying away. So let me strategically place right underneath all of that heat embossing right there, and I'm going to do another one down here. Oh, that's better. I like it kind of flapping up, but I don't want it to get caught and pulled off. Okay, so the top is done, and I like both of them. Maybe this one a little bit more because I like the detail in it, but I like how big that one is. Okay, I like them both. So now for the inside. The inside, I'm trying to think forward so I can avoid the mistakes I made on the first one. This is going to go right in here. Right like this. Okay, so I'm going to start out by putting liquid glue right here. And you could do regular tape, maybe tear and tape, but you just want something that will hold. Once it's down, it will really hold. My tape runner, sometimes it fails me. Okay, so with it open, lay it down right on the inside. The good thing about liquid glue is you can move it. And I'm making sure that this crease matches up and this amount up here is equal with this amount down here. And that it's straight. Okay, that looks good. So now before you attach this other piece, and I have tricks for that in just a minute, let's put the words right in through here. But I need, oh, that little flower. Did you see how artsy I got on this one? Hold on, let me show you. Look at that little flower right in there. Yeah, we're fancy. So, petal pink. Let's do that first before we start attaching it. Petal pink, little flower, right there. And like I did with the words, without catching an edge, I'm hoping that it stamps in the crack. That's good. Actually, it kind of strategically placed that. And if your words are crooked, if you put the flower off to the other side, it kind of balances it out a little bit. And you know what, even looking at the crease, I could tell that my letters, my words are a little crooked, but it's okay. It's such a cool card, it's okay. Okay, so now let's put this piece in. This piece is going to go right through here, right there. And I'm going to line up this crease with the card center. These pieces are well stuck on. So again, I suggest using liquid glue, and I'll show you why. It's mostly just because it might need to scooch just a little bit. Okay, so have it flattened out. Put this one right in here. And before it dries too much, close the card door. And that's just because if you position this a little bit crooked, when you close the card, it will get it all lined up so that the creases are equal. Okay, that's good. And even if it does end up kind of bowing a little bit, like see right down here, I don't know if you could tell, it's kind of bowing a little bit. That's okay for this card. It's fine. Okay, that's good. So we have that, and it's almost perfectly. This side looks bigger, this side looks smaller, but if anyone critiques my cards that hard, they don't get this one. Okay, and before we do the final step, let's put these little branches that we watercolored on. So I'm going to put adhesive where my fingers are not. So here on the stem, just this half, because the other half is going to be floating in the circle. And when you place your flower, your leaf, this stem, do not put it over the crease. Have it to the inside by the circle. This piece right here, it's going over the crease, but that's okay because that's going to be the little mountain. So there's plenty of room for it to stick up like that. And if you happen to put it over here, you'll just have to trim it off, which is fine. Okay, and then this one, see how we're copying these? This one is going to go right here. And again, That's just a little bit from the edge and going over. So where my fingers are, the glue is not going. Okay, make sure I got glue on the right side. No glue showing. That's good. Okay, that is done. But once again, before we close up the card and do this last piece, let's decorate. So see all these little flowers right down in here? Those are these. So let's put those on. If you happen to forget, you could still tuck them in there to put them in. But how convenient to do it right now. So we got two ones with a long stem, and then we have this little double with a bouquet, and right here is where the crease is going to go. So I'll put it on and then I'll hold it up close. Glue, 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 glue. At least on the tips. Right through the middle. Okay, on everything. I do have one of those glue sponges. I never use it. Or what did Carolyn tell me? She told me just take the Stampin' Sponge, put glue on that, put it on your silicone mat, tap, 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 and it's all done. But I never take the time to do it. My little glue bottle works out pretty well. Okay, so this is a mess. So I'm going to put it off to the side. Oh, and this is one I strategically want to place. It's going over the words a little bit, but that's okay. Might be too late to lift this. Right like that. Okay. I have glue everywhere. But I'll show you what I was aiming for, why I did the redo. So, right here, the crease is right here, and I'm fine with that being creased. But I didn't want to crease this little petal right here. So if I were to close it, this is the only thing getting creased is right there. And I'm good with that. Not good with glue being everywhere, but don't tell anyone. Yeah. Okay. And then these little ones, and you won't see much of it down here at the bottom. Like you don't see much of that. So just focus on where do you want the flower. And if ever you have glue, and every time I open up the lid it goes bloop, bloop, it kind of bubbles out. Like I said, it's been a whole day. Today's a warm day. Open it up, make sure there's no bubble, then close it, and that stops the problem. Okay, back on task. So, glue, 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 glue. Ding. It's kind of bubbling out. I thought I fixed that. Okay, so this one can go. Right about there. Right close to that edge. Oh, and I have glue everywhere. Okay, and I'm like, how am I going to know where that one goes? I can check. Oh, it has plenty of room. I'll put it right about there. So on Monday, 4th of July, I listed all the stamp sets that are in garage sale. In garage sale, we were ready to pack it up, but I put it all into Mama's extra room, and it's all over. But I can't figure out how to attach to my blog an Excel spreadsheet or a PDF. I even tried doing a PDF. Otherwise, I'd get it to you. So this, I think I'm going to move the flower. Well, you know what? Oh yeah, because it's messing up the words. Nope, it's going to stay right there. There's a little bit of gold right where it was, right back there. I had more room to move it over, but that's okay. Okay, so that's all done. And I didn't cover up my whoops, but don't tell anyone. Okay, so to finish up the card, take this, fold it, put glue all over this, or tear tape, or whatever you have that holds real good and strong. Glue, glue, glue. Okay, and then close the door. Okay, and hold it just a little bit. And then next, you know what? Just make sure that's there, and here, that's heavy. So now I'm going to decorate this butterfly with the rhinestones again. So I'll do a big one, medium, and a little one. And that one's on dimensionals, so dimensionals it shall be. This is a smaller butterfly. I'll still do 3. Okay, so this should be glued enough for now. Hey! Look how cute that butterfly is. Okay, next time. So this can go wherever you like. I'll put it on this side, just something different. And I like to see the detail of the vellum butterfly against the crumb cake paper base. So I'll put it right here. Oh, and if you can, avoid, see this crease? I know it's going to fold there. So this butterfly has to be folded a whole lot or straight up and down. Oh, okay, or maybe this way. Why wouldn't he fit the other way? No, that's too busy. Okay, it's going to go right here. I'll be hanging over the edge a little. Okay, looking good. It will close just fine. It's thick, but that's okay. And then, bling, bling. How about this one? I did 3. 1, 2, 3. So these I'm going to do little ones. 1, 2, do I dare put, I'm going to put it right over my whoops. 3. Okay, so this project is all done. Isn't that just the cutest? I love this card. This is a tunnel card. Well, thanks for tuning in and staying with me during this video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.